Good morning, it's Sunday, May the 1st, and I'm here at the 600-yard match at Red Castle Gun Club. This was supposed to be a two-day event where it's a 1,000-yard match on Saturday and a 600-yard match today. And I got really sick from some antibiotics the other night, so I had to miss the 1,000-yard match. I know a lot of you guys were really looking forward to that, and I'm really sorry about it. I should be up on that hill back behind me in order to take shots right down here, but we'll just have to see how this thing does at 600 yards. And the wind is pretty much straight at my back right now, which according to the other shooters is going to make things a little bit wonky. You're going to get mild changes from left to right. So yeah, just a reminder, today's game is all about the wind. Since this is a fixed distance and I'm going to have a nice stable rest, the name of the game really is wind. Wish me luck.
The time will begin, and you may fire when your target appears. Target's up.
Okay, here's an update. Round one really sucked. It was a pretty low score, 163 I think. And with that one, I think a lot of that was a flinch that I was developing. The lightweight, well, these heavier bullets and then the lightweight rifle, it's really beating the crap out of this shoulder. It hurts a lot to shoot. So I'm really not doing the fundamentals. I'm not doing the usual breathing and the nice clean trigger pull. So what I did in the second round is I put a sandbag right here between my shoulder and the rifle, and it took me a little while to get situated where things were comfortable, but eventually I started shooting better. So that was a 171, and yeah, it feels a lot better here now. It doesn't, I don't really feel that bruise so much. So yeah, we'll see how the third round goes. I'm intending to pick things up a little bit. The wind is still weird. The wind is from my back and it's going, the targets are that way. And it just kind of goes a little bit side to side every few minutes. And yeah, it's just changing all the time. And what's happening is the wind behind us is actually hitting some of these berms and I think causing the bullets to hop up a little bit too. So in addition to the side to side, I think we're getting a little bit of variation up and down. So it's fun, but I can definitely see where I need to make some improvements. First off, I think I need to either be wearing a pretty thick recoil pad next time I come out, and or I need to put a lot of weight into the stock so that this thing weighs a lot more. But I like the trigger, I like the way that everything's working. The precision of the rifle seems to be just fine. Now it is kind of stringing some as it heats up, so I have to be careful to shoot slowly. But other than that, it's doing really well. Here's a little after-action report. I just finished the third relay. Everybody is getting out of here. Everything is closed down and cleaned up. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about what happened with this thing. First off, the rifle itself shot really well, as far as I can tell. There were some issues which we'll get into, but overall, I think that there was nothing to really fault the action, the barrel, anything like that. Nothing wrong there. as far as equipment goes, one of the big letdowns was the scope, which you can imagine. This is a $100 scope, and you're going to be missing something somewhere. The turrets tracked great. All the mechanicals were just fine, and the only thing that really let me down on this is just the quality of the glass. The quality of the glass is horrible. It's disgusting. It's mushy. You really can't see anything of any value. You can't see mirage. It's just the entire image is garbage on the other end of that. So you just kind of vaguely, point it. I can kind of see the rings a little bit on the target, and just kind of put it in this area, and it worked. But this is definitely one of the things that was letting me down. I couldn't really precisely pick where I was aiming this thing. Some other issues: the total weight of the rifle was a real drag. It's so light, and I actually measured this thing before the scope went on, and it was coming out at, I believe, 7¼ pounds. So probably with the scope, it's about 8 pounds total. So it's very light for a prone rifle, especially something that with those 162 grain bullets was actually kicking pretty hard. So we'll actually check this out later, but I'm pretty sure I have a massive bruise right up here. And in the first match, like I mentioned earlier, I was getting very badly bruised, and I think I was getting a bit of a flinch from that. So what I did is I started putting a sandbag here between my shoulder and the buttstock, which, as you can imagine, that's not exactly optimal for a good cheek weld. So I was kind of trading one set of problems for another, but I think overall having the sandbag there was a better idea. It made it so I didn't have to flinch. I could just do a nice trigger pull, I could breathe properly, get all my, my head in the right area, and then I could pull the trigger. Some of the things that you might not have seen on this rifle before, the Simmons scope does come with a sunshade, so I did put that on there, and that helped because early in the morning we were shooting directly into the sun. And this little Mirage shield that I put on top, I just have some little Velcro pads that this attaches to. This is just a valance slat from a mini blind, and it's kind of small, but hey, the barrel's small too. So I guess that did the job. Might as well not degrade the image any further than I did. Some of the things I'll let you know what the scores are. The first round I did a 163, so I dropped 33 points right there. And then the second round it was a 171, so I dropped 29 points. And then I got another 163 for the last one. Even though I felt better shooting the last match, the wind was really capricious. It was all over the place. It was still roughly to our back, but it would switch sides just all the time. So trying to keep up with the wind and how much wind we were dealing with was pretty difficult. I still felt better shooting that last 20 rounds, and to me they felt like they came off better, but the score doesn't really show it. So it's a low score for this sort of thing. I think the guy that won this match, he dropped 9 points total, and I think that's all. So yeah, huge gap between me and him, and frankly I probably did come in bottom of the pack today. We'll have to see afterward, see what the actual scores were. If I can beat just one guy, that'd be wonderful, but I don't imagine I did. So some of the things that I'd like to do to upgrade this and make it into something that would work better for this, some of the cheat mods that I can do anyway. First off, I want to make this thing weigh more, so I want to fill the forearm with lead, and if I can actually get this buttstock off, or the butt pad. I don't know what in the world Boyds used to seal this thing on here, but it didn't want to come off. But if I can fill this with lead too, that would be wonderful. The rifle, its total weight, I have to keep it below, it's something like 22 pounds or something. It's really heavy. and I definitely can add a lot of weight to make this work better. Another modification that I really needed, my wife was very kind to make me a rear bag yesterday. I didn't have any good sandbag to have at the rear here, and she made me a nice one, but I think that's one extra mod that I'll need to do is a sandbag that's on a slant, like you're going to see at these sorts of competitions, and something that kind of grips the buttstock. With those two, I think I'd feel much more confident shooting this, even though I might still wear at least kind of a thin recoil bag, just to keep it from hurting too badly. But yeah, overall, I think the concept has proven to work. It's quite good. And this is the 600-yard match. You know that I was intending to do a 1,000-yard match, which was yesterday, but I got extremely sick on Friday night, so I was not able to shoot that match. So I'll have to find some other way to come back, make it up to you guys, and finish this thing out. But some thanks before I go. Thank you very much to the subscribers on YouTube and the fans on Facebook. It's been really nice chatting with a bunch of you guys on Facebook about various things. I actually had one of the Facebook friends, his name is Jacob. He made me this dial right here, or this little this paper turret markings for my elevation turret. So thanks a bunch, Jacob. And yeah, thanks a bunch to Red Castle for hosting this event, and yeah, letting a kind of a noob like me out here to shoot. And yeah, hope next time that I can do that 1,000-yard match, which is coming up in October. It's going to be a long time, but in the meantime, you guys, I'll see if I can come up with another way to demonstrate long-range shooting with this. Maybe I can find someone's personal property that I can get 1,000 yards on, and or maybe there's another match in the area where I can do a 1,000-yard competition. But I would like to show that this is capable at longer range.